Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. This is my Tim Holtz Tuesday. I'm not going to be using all Tim Holtz stuff, and I am going to be showing you something a little different. So stay tuned. It is going to be making a no-sew, very easy Christmas journal, but it could be any kind of journal really, guys. But I'm doing Christmas. I'm going to keep doing Christmas just because it's Christmas time. I'm not going to change over until, after Christmas. I'll probably I may put the journals on my Etsy, but I'm mainly just doing it just so that you might see something that you might want to make for yourself, or for a gift, or that kind of a thing. Anyways, guys, I have been super busy today, and I did not get in my craft room until very, very late. So I'm hoping that this video will come out on Tuesday. I'm filming it on Tuesday, but if it doesn't, it's still my Tim Holtz Tuesday. Okay. First off, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing so you can kind of see. Let me get one of these down here. Hold on. Alrighty. Oh, here we go. All right. I have these paper bags that I just recently purchased, and I absolutely love this size for making a journal. It's bigger than your normal lunch sack, but it's not super big. It makes a pretty nice journal, and I want to kind of show people how to do this if you haven't done it before. And we're going to be using a lot of Tim Holtz products with this. Okay, I'm hoping to get all of this done in one video, okay, because I have so many things that I would like to do before Christmas, just running around in my head. And I'm hoping I can get some of these things in one, so it's not like 1, 2, 3 or whatever. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do all of the decorating with you and that type of thing, but I will be able to show you. I'm going to show you 2 finished journals when we're done. Okay, so that way you can see what it turns into. Okay, so anyway, this paper bag, and of course I cannot find my ruler. I did not know. What did I just had it a minute ago? My old one. You can't see very good on this, but we will go ahead and use it. I tried to clean it off with alcohol, and it started to rub the stuff off, and then it got melted, and all kinds of good stuff happened. So anyway, I bought another one, and I have it somewhere in here, but this one still works. Okay, so this paper bag is 7, and I think it's by like 13. I guess 12.5. And I'll leave the link in the description box. I got these off of Amazon. I just really love this size. I think it works super well. But, you can use whatever size. This is a smaller size. This is what your standard, actually they make them smaller, but this is probably your average bag. And these turn out good. I mean, don't get me wrong. These are just they're bigger. And if you have, this project can work really, really well with your 8x8 paper pads, because a lot of the pages in it, okay, you'll have to cut them down, but it works super, super well for those. So if you have any of those, get them. Again, we're going to be using scrapbooking paper for this because I have a load of it. And I think a lot of people out there do. And I also have heard a lot of people tell me they don't have a printer, they don't have access to a printer, or their printer doesn't work well. And so I'm doing these projects for people like that. But you could certainly use digitals. Everywhere that I'm using scrapbook paper, you could use digitals. Now, the 6x6, you could certainly use that. It will work also. And I'll show you in a little bit. You'll see how it will work. And of course, if you have the smaller paper bag, you can use that. And I'm going to show you a journal at the end made with a bigger paper bag. and so with less pages, but it's just a bigger bag, and it really turns out to be a good size. Okay, so let's get started. And I have this bag, and I'm going to do a total of, I think I'm going to make this journal a little smaller. I did one where I did 6 bags. I'm going to do this one where I do 4 bags, okay? Just so that we have less pages to deal with. And let me get those down from here. Got too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4. Oh, I got it. Yeah, put that back. So anyway, you have your 4 bags, and what I'm going to use on this is 12 by 12 paper because I have a lot of it. And if you've been watching my channel, you've seen we made the journal with the gift box, and I used paper with that too. And you know, I'll tell you one thing, that this is my thought process too. If you're in a hurry and you're wanting to make these as gifts, with the paper pads, makes it so much easier because you're not having to spend the time to print and trim and cut and do all that. You can just take the paper pads, and you're going to see how I use the cut aparts in this and all the other stuff in the journal. So it helps you quite a bit if you're like in a hurry. And then also on these, this is a heavier weight cardstock. So this is good for this project because they're not actually separate pages. So I think different scrapbook paper works in different situations better. This actually works good, the cardstock. So if you have like a cardstock, it doesn't have to be super heavyweight. And again, you can use the lighter if you want to. But if you have the heavier cardstock and you want to use it up, this is a great way to do it. Okay, so this is from the Paper Studio, which would be Hobby Lobby, and it's North Pole Productions. And I'll give you just a quick look at these just to give you an idea. This is going to be a very kind of retro looking journal, and it has a lot of fun stuff in it. And the highlight of our whole thing, oh, I passed the page, I don't know where it is going to be what we use on our cover. Okay, so we are going to use that Santa, and it is going to be a nice little retro cover, and we will make that together, and I will show you how we utilize that. But first I'm going to show you the construction of our journal. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to fold in half all 4 of our bags, and we're just going to basically, you know, butt it up. Here's your open part, here's your closed part. Just going to make them even. 3.5, 3.5. So we're going to mark it at, and it doesn't have to be exactly even, guys. You're just making 5 notches. So we're doing it at the 2 3/4 mark. And then we're going to do it at the 3.5. So you're going to end up with 5 dots evenly in between. They're not, you're going to have less here and less there usually. Okay, and the reason you're doing that is because we are going to actually use this as our binding. Okay, so what you do then is you just take your hole punch. If I can find my hole punch. And you will just punch through here. And I go way back here. I actually made that out too far, but I would do it, I think, about 1/8 of an inch. Let me check. I think, yeah, it's 1/8 of an inch. So let's see here. Yeah, you want to do it back here. You want to do it about 1/8 of an inch off of, I'm trying to mark it evenly. I'm doing this for you, but you don't really want to go much further than that, because that is where your binding is. You won't be able to open it if you do that. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way across. So you're basically going to just do that. Small hole. And you don't want to do too small of a hole either, because you have to be able to fit the ribbon in there. So you want to use your larger hole if you're using your crocodile, and you don't want to use a tiny one for your other one. Normally I'm doing it on the wrong side. Normally you want to punch out where your mark is right here, but I put mine up too high, and you're just going to do that all the way across. I'm really just using this as a template, so anyway. So normally you would put your dot, you know, right there, and don't go past this 1/8 inch mark. Okay, so that's where it would be. You want it about right there. Then what you want to do is you want to take your other bags and just take your folded edge and line it up with this one, and you want to mark, and you're going to have a top and a bottom, and it doesn't matter which is which, but you have to have them like this. I'm just using this as a template. I'm going to redo this. Well, it doesn't really matter because we're going to cover that. So, but you want to make sure that you keep your top the top and your bottom the bottom, because if you don't, what will happen is that little bit that you're off will cause them all to be off. Let me get a different thing to mark it with, because it's not very pointy. But you just want to hold it down and mark your spots and go through and do this to all of your things. Just go through and punch them all, and just mark them all and punch them all. Now what I'm going to do, which is a little bit different, I have this punch board from We Are Memory Keepers, and it has a thing for 5 slots, and I am going to just actually put my thing in there and punch the 5. Okay, now this is kind of weird on this one, because it has a little thing to line it up over here, but what happens is that it causes one of them to be kind of high, which is okay. I don't really care. But I can line it up in the middle if I want to mark all of my bags what is the middle. So, and I really almost kind of have to stand to do this, and I think I'm going to do that, because you have to put leverage on top, and it works pretty good. I mean, so it gives me my holes there, and I'm just going to do mine like that. All right, so this thing works really well to get them all the same. The only thing I have to say, now you can take it out and do like 3. I personally like having the 5 holes because I think it looks better, it holds better, but I mean, you certainly can do however you want it. All right, now let me show you this part here. The way that you can do this, you can have the little pocket things all going, alternating with these. Like when you open this up, okay, you have this pocket, this little bottom part here, and then this flat part. And then the next one, we've got this thing here. You're going to have this part, and then you're going to have that part, okay? And then you want to have this part, and then you want to have that part. So when you punch your holes, you want to make sure that you punch them the way you want them to lie in your journal, okay? If you want them all to have this on one side, then you have to punch them that way. If you notice, the top and the bottom are different, and even if you try and punch them exact, usually it's very hard to do, okay? But in any case, you want to punch your holes the way you want your journal to end up. I have them alternating, okay? If you want them to go all the way, then they can go all the same way. It just depends on what you want, okay? I think it looks better if they alternate. And I think also what it does is that you don't have as much bulk on one side. So anyway, we have 4 bags here with our holes cut in it. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to decide what ribbon we want to put in here, okay? Some thinner ribbon on here, so I think I can tie it better. Or some twine. I like to use twine a lot. Let me try the red. And I cut off a piece bigger than I need usually because I like to have it to handle, you know, as I'm doing this, because I don't want to not have enough to tie. Put that, I need something different so it doesn't poke a hole through it. Okay. So I usually do the middle first just so it keeps all the other ones in line. And all you're going to do is just tie a knot, and you want it tight but not so tight that you don't have room for the journal to turn, okay? So basically not, you know, yanking it, but just to where it's even with the top, and then you just basically tie a knot. That's it. And you can tie these off shorter later, and I will, but I'm going to do that on top, okay? Tighten my knot, and that gives me, see how I have room right here? You have to have enough room for your pages to turn, okay? Now the other thing you could do if you want to do this, I'll show you this on the other ones. You can put little page protector, hole protectors, not page protectors. Hole protectors on there. Let's see if I have all the same. I've got some little gold ones here, and you can put those on. And that, I usually just put them, if I put them on, I just put them on the top and the bottom, because I don't want to you know, put them on all of them. But you could do that just, you know, to help keep the back, to make it last. And it, like I said, I usually just put them on the top and the bottom. I don't usually do it for all of them. I'm going to untie that and go ahead and then put it on there. And that just keeps it from tearing, from wear and tear. But honestly, I haven't had that happen, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that, and then we will go ahead and put one on there and then retie it. So I'm going to go ahead and punch this through the part right here. I can get it through without it tearing. There we go. And just tie my knot. Again, not too tight. You want to be able to have your pages to turn. Okay, so that's one. And then really, I go through and I just put my other ribbons where I want them. And what I do is I kind of get them to the size, these little tails that I want them, and I want them hanging off. I just don't want them as long. And I just cut them. Of course, you could wait till you're done to do that, but they kind of get in the way, so I usually cut them. I cut that very crooked. Alright, that's the angle I'm at. It's kind of weird. I think that one's okay. This one's a little bit long over here. This is your choice here. This can be a pocket right here, and that's how I did it. Or you can glue it and cover it up. That's your choice. I am gonna have these be a pocket. So, I mean, you can decide how you want to do it. But in order to do that, all you do is put a tiny bit of glue right here and do that, okay? And then do that on the other side. And that's that, okay? What I also do is, once you've made that a pocket, you still have this kind of opening here on the side. Okay, I put a bead of glue down there too and shut that because you're not going to use it for anything. And then that makes it flat, okay? So just go right down the side like that and do that. So then what that does is that makes a pocket right here for you to tuck things, okay? And we'll cover this part up later. This I just leave open like that. Okay, and then here you've got another one, and then anywhere you have one of these, okay, you want to just do that if you want a pocket. If you don't want a pocket, then what you can do is just, you know, glue this down all the way. Just put glue down here too. Glue the sides down, the insides, like I'm going to do here. Get that. To open it up, getting it mixed up with my other page here. There we go. You just glue these sides down like this, and then you're going to cover over this, okay? But because we're making them pockets, we're going to do that, all right? And you'll do that all the way through, making the decision. I mean, you could do some pockets, some not, all depending upon how you want your journal to be. That becomes your choice, okay? And as you can see, these are basically, that's how we bound our journal, okay? That's how we turn the pages, and it's fine, okay? All right, so I'm not going to do all those because I want to make sure we have time to get everything done. So what we want to do next is we're going to decorate our cover, and I am using the Santa Claus that we had. And what did I do with that piece? So all I did is fussy cut this out, and I also fussy cut the ho ho ho. That's it. And then I took this naughty or nice and I cut it out. Okay, that's all I did because that's what I'm going to use for my cover. So now I have these pieces that I'm going to use. I've got this, and I've got this naughty or nice all welcome, and that is going to go on my cover, okay? So the other thing I'm going to use for my cover is just some paper, and I want to use this holly one. Got a pile of them over here, and this is one of the pages that were in there, okay? I know this is a little big, so I'm going to have to cut it down. I want this to be on here, and I'm going to put that on there with it. I think it goes really well with it. What I want to do is get that to the size that I want. And when you do these pages and you cover these up, obviously you can't cover the part that turns right here where the ribbon is. So even though this is a good 7 inches across, you cannot make it 7 inches. You've got to make it, I think it's 6 3/4. So let me get my little cutter out here. And it's that 1/4 inch that's on the side that where your ribbon is that you're allowing for, okay? So I want to make sure I do this right because, yeah, okay. See, this is shorter here. I think it's 6 3/4. I don't know. Let's hope I get it right. So that will be 5 3/4 and 6 3/4. All right. And that is going to go right here. Okay. You don't want to cover up your ribbons. Twist them all that way. And that's going to go right there. So you may want to ink that up. I don't know where my ink, here it is. If you're doing something that you want distressing, you can distress it. I'm not going to do that on this. I'm just going to kind of ink it a little because I'm going for not really a shabby or whatever, just kind of a vintage vibe. And that is going to go just right here, and that is how I am going to do that with my art glitter glue. And I'm just going to go ahead and go around the edges, get those down, do the middle pretty good. And that is it. And I'm going to just put that right here, and I'm allowing for the brown to show a little bit because I think it looks cool, and not covering my what you call it, my holes here. Okay, I've got it way over there, but it's not covering the hole. Okay, it's right to the edge of that hole. You don't want to go much past that because you want it to be able to turn. Okay, so basically all of these plain pages like that are going to be 5 3/4 and 6 3/4 in length. 5 3/4 in width, 6 3/4 in length. And what you're going to want to do is take any pieces that you want to put in there. I think I have some that are a little big. Like here's another one that I could use. And you just want to get them and then put them in your journal how you want them to be. Okay? So you'll just go across and do them where you want them. I don't know if I have any other ones that I can use. I think I had a couple already cut, but I don't remember where I put them. Let's see. I don't have it handy, but let's just say you want to do this on the inside. Okay. See, this is 6 by. I think this one's. No, it's not 6 by 6. But if you have a 6 by 6 paper pad, what you're going to see. I'll just pull one out so you can see it. This is what a 6 by 6 looks like, and that's okay. You just have a bigger gap on the top and the bottom, and you're still going to need to trim it to 5 3/4, okay? But it will definitely fit on there very, very easily and make this go super, super fast. So you're going to go through basically and just, I think I'll use that there. I don't want that to ziggy zags. Okay, so this is just going to be cut down 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And I'm just showing you how to do the inside of the pages so that if you decide that you want to go ahead and do it that way, you can. Okay, so we're going to make sure I do this right. I'm just doing 1/4 inch off of here, so see if I can get that. I'll just do it this way. I'm going to guesstimate it. Go here. Okay. I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's see here. No, I did 1/8. I need to do it one more over. So that is going to go right here. That's going to go there. And then this is going to be, this is 4 inches, I believe, or 3 inches. I don't remember now. Yep, 4 inches. So the width on that is 4 inches, and then it's always going to be the 6 3/4. So let's go 4 inches. That's just an approximate. I think every bag, and see, I want the brown to show, so I'm cutting mine a little bit smaller. You have to decide personally how you want it. Okay, because see, I have a little bit of brown showing here, and you're going to anyway because you can't cover your things there, and I want some there. So, okay, so the other part of the construction of this is you can make an additional pocket right here. You've got a pocket here, and make one here. And I did that on quite a few of mine. I didn't do it on all of them, but I did it on quite a few. And what I did is I notched this. So I just kind of found the middle a little bit, and I notched it. with a circle punch, okay? And you can go ahead and ink that up. Now I did the journal that I did it with six of these, and I think that was a lot. I mean, it made a really nice journal and it made for a lot of pages, but I just think that this kind of journal lends itself better to it lends itself to a smaller, journal, because you've got the pockets, and if you put a lot of stuff in it, like right now, it's not real gator mouth or anything, but if you really loaded it up, which, that's fine, but it would end up being very, very, very full, because you have all these pockets. You have a ton of pockets, so that's why you may not want to do pockets. Okay, so if we're making this an additional pocket, then we're just going to put glue like that. Okay. And put that over here. Okay. And that's going to give us an additional pocket here, and then we have this one here that we glue down. So you basically just go through and do that. You'll have a whole 5 3/4 and 6 3/4, or you'll have a 4" by 6 3/4 that you put on top of here, and do that through the whole journal, just picking different pages however you want them, and that's what you do. Now I also did I decided I wanted pockets in mine, and I had these bags, and I just put the bags directly on a page. Okay, I didn't do anything but that, but I glued here, here, and here, and I left this open, so if I wanted to put a tag or something in there, I could. And I didn't cover, you could cover your page first and then put this on, because that might look kind of nice. You could, like this page that we did, you could cover that and put that on, but there's not going to be that much of it showing after, so it's up to you, however you want to do it. But this is an idea to add additional pockets, and these envelopes are, let me see, this is 5 by probably 7, yeah, 5 by 7 little envelopes, not envelopes, bags, just little treat bags, and they fit in there great. And then you have like a little pocket right here. So there you go. So that's just something you may want to do in your journal, and I will show you. I also made pockets with the cut aparts and tags and stuff like that, and I will show you that as we go. But the other thing you want to do is you want to think about these inside pieces here. So I took my extra pieces after I cut mine down, and I made little kind of like journaling cards that I put in here, and that's what I used for in there. And I just put some ribbon on here as a tab. You could put another tab on there or not, but anyway, I did that through all of these openings here. Okay. And it also was decorative because I had the tabs flowing on there. Okay, so now that we've done that and we've made our cover, I am going to, and this is where the Tim Holtz stuff comes into play, I'm going to go ahead and decorate it. And what I want to do first is I want to work on my Santa. And the first thing that I want to do on him is I'm going to take my dauber out. This is my Distress Embossing dauber. Somebody asked me on the embossing, do you have to have a heat tool? And yes, you do. A hairdryer is not going to get hot enough. So you're going to want to have a heat gun. And put that on your Christmas list. I've been telling people things that you need or want. That's one of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to daub all over him because I want him all. We're going to do the whole thing. Get something, there's some like little thread or something on him. I'm just kind of making sure. I should have had this upside down so it would have been ready to go. But I think we're getting it on there. And I'm covering the ho 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 also. All of Santa. I'm not doing his glittery hat because we're not gonna, it's already glittery and it's already kind of sealed. So, and what I'm gonna use is I am gonna use frosted crystal, and it's a distress glaze. Okay, and I'm gonna put that all over my, I really love this stuff. It's my new fun thing to do. Put frosted crystal on everything. It's a clear embossing that has like a little shimmer, and it's really cool. It's completely crystal clear, but it's a very cool thing to do. Okay, let me get that off there. Wouldn't make a difference if it's on there, honestly, but maybe I'll leave it. I got to get a paintbrush to do that. And that all over on the other side. Here we go. So I'm just going to detail that off right there. The rest of it looks pretty good. Okay. Put this back in here. But anyway, this frosted crystal, I think, is a really cool finish. And I don't know that you can really see it that well on the camera so much, because it doesn't really show up that good, but it is a really cool finish. It's my new fun thing that I like to do. I'm gonna hold that down so I don't burn my fingers. And my heat gun has seen better days. I don't clean it because it's gonna just get messy all over again, but I've probably had this thing 20 years. Now that we've done that, it does have a really cool finish to it. All right, and we could just leave it like that, but of course I'm not going to do that. I am going to take, we're going to use translucent because it's white under there, and that'll work just fine. Okay, so I'm using translucent grip paste on his hat. Okay, and I'm just blobbing it on there, and I'm taking a stiff brush. Okay, and I'm just kind of dabbing because I want it to look like fur when it dries, and that's the whole point. And you're probably wondering, well, why did you seal it? And I go, well, because I wanted to seal the rest of his face, and I didn't, it's not going to hurt that I did it on and then put the grip paste on, because it'll stick to it. And I'm not putting too much. I just want enough texture that it looks kind of furry. Okay. Now, of course, you could do that to his beard too, but I'm trying to make this part stand out. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it this little ball thing down here. Okay, so I'm just doing it to his hat. Okay, I want that to get off of there. And that's just going to make it look a little bit more texturized. And then I'm going to take my Rock Candy Crystal Clear Glitter, okay? And I am going to put that on top of it because it's wet and sticky, all right? And I am just going to then wipe off any excess. And you can already see how it looks kind of a little bit raised and higher and whatever. And then you just let it set and let that dry. I don't use my heat gun on that. I don't do anything with it because I don't want it to blister. And if you use your heat gun, a lot of times it'll blister. But so we're going to work with it probably wet, but all right. So then what I'm going to do, I got ahead of myself on some stuff there, is I am going to take my cover and put some extra little things on there. Okay, I want to put some of, let me get my trim out and everything that I'm going to use. I have these little holly berries I want to use. I'm going to put that on there. And I have, let's see, I've got some of this trim I want to use. And I thought I had some glittery trim too. Let me see here. I have this trim. And I think I have some pom-poms somewhere. Yep, here they are. Okay, here's my pom-poms. All right, and let's see what else. Oh, okay, and this is the Tim Holtz tinsel. I'm going to use that, okay? And I have my glue gun kind of heating up over there. This stuff to me is very retro, and I really like that, and I think it'll look cool with our Santa. Normally, I would wait for this to completely dry, okay? But we're probably not going to have time to get all of that in the video, so I'm going to try really hard to not cut out too many things. But he's going to go right there like that, okay? Is that cool or what? And I'm going to put him there. And then I have, oh, where's my other two pieces? Oh, here they are. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Things are getting kind of crowded. I want to put Naughty or Nice up there. And I got to have room for the Ho Ho Ho. So maybe that's going to go all the way to the top. And then we're going to put All Welcome down here. Move that out. It barely fits, so. But I'm going to bump Santa up on some tape. I'll just take them off and put them on. I'm trying really hard not, because it's still wet, a little wet. Not real wet, but a little bit. But I got to work with them that way. Or I could wait for them to dry and come back. But I'm not going to do that. We're just going to work with them this way. And so I am just going to put this little foam tape. I got this at the dollar store. I love this stuff. I think it works great. I have long pieces of foam tape too, but I really like the different pieces a lot of times when I have a piece like this, because I just go kind of close to around the edge. And I put some in the middle too. If you don't put any in the middle, then what happens is it'll sink. So you got to have a couple in the middle at least. Okay, so I have all my little deals removed there, and then I'm going to go ahead and before I put that down, I'm going to put my Naughty and Nice and All Welcome, and I'm going to use a long piece of foam tape for that because I want it to pop up as well. If you don't have foam tape, you can use chipboard. You can use a couple pieces of your scrap paper and build it up, you know, and glue them together. Foam tape is nice though. I think I got that at the dollar store too, so not expensive, easy to use, except, you know, when you're filming and you have things laying around. Alright, so I'm going to put these on first because we have so little room to fit Santa. I want to make sure he fits on there. Alright, so Naughty or Nice has to go way up on top, and I think it's going to have to kind of almost go almost to the top. I'm going to kind of center it. I'll move it over a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's a little crooked. I'm going to move it over a little. Move it down just a little tiny bit on this side. Here we go. So we've got that, and now we're going to put this one on the bottom. And kind of center it. I think that, well, actually it needs to come over a tiny bit. right? Okay, that's pretty good. So now we are going to put Santa on there. And he is going to go, let's see, he kind of has to go back a little bit. I want to have room here to put other things, so let's see, I guess I'll kind of center him right there. I think that's good. Okay, so he's going to go right there, and we're going to push him down. I'll do it more after oh, it's pretty dry. It's all pretty, it dries pretty quick, guys. So, let's see. So now we want to put, I'm going to put a little, oh, I got my ribbon there. I am going to put a little bit of my, what is this called? My pom-pom trim, because I like the red. I have white, and I tried it, but I thought, no, it doesn't really, I don't know, it didn't work for me. It just, I think there's so much white going on here that I needed red. So I'm going to put that down with my art glitter glue. Not my, oh, 3-in-1 actually. Okay, so I'm going to put that right on the edge. This is kind of stretchy, so I want to put, I just think pom-pom trim and rickrack, it just kind of, to me, seems retro. So it goes with the theme. All right, and then I'm going to take this tinsel and I'm going to put it right there, but I'm going to use my glue gun to do that because I think it works better for this. And that is just going to, I'm going to put a little, it doesn't take a lot, I just think it works better for this. My glue gun's a mess too, just like my, I need to clean all this stuff off one of these days, but who am I kidding? When am I going to do that? I'm going straight down here. I'm not putting a ton, I'm just putting a little. I don't want it coming all out all over the place. And I'm going to put my tinsel right here, right next to the pom-pom. Fairly straight. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know. That looks cool. Doesn't that look very retro? I think it does. You know, I could have put some up here and down there, but I think it looks good there. And then I want something kind of glittery on this side. So I've got this red sequined ribbon. So I'm going to put that over here. Okay, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue for that. Okay, and you could use your hot glue gun for this too if you wanted to. I just, not art glitter glue. I was using my 3-in-1. I usually use my 3-in-1 when I'm using material. I think it works better than art glitter glue, but you can use art glitter glue too. It doesn't grab as quickly, but it does work good. But I actually like 3-in-1 or fabric tack, which is the same thing really. Okay, so I think that looks kind of cool. But then I want to put my, what did I do with my rickrack? I have this Christmas rickrack here, and I'm going to put that on top of there because I think it needs a little bit more color. So I'm going to do that. He's coming along, huh? I'm hoping I get to keep all of this in one video. If I don't, it'll be 2, or it'll be one really long one because I don't know what all I can cut out of it. It's hard to do a whole process of a journal, even a small journal, in one video when you're trying to explain things, you know. All right, so there we go with that. And now we just have a couple more things I want to do. I want to put these on. I'm going to put that up here. Doesn't that go good? It's so cute. Why, it's sticking to my finger. And then this one's going to go here. And I'm going to use my glue gun for that. But I also want to add a couple of these candy canes. And these are the Tim Holtz, I guess they're this year, the candy canes. But I want mine to be a little bit glittery. Where did the other, I thought I took two out. Oh, it's sitting right there. I want one to go kind of up here, like that. And then one to kind of go over here, just like that. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I want to glitter these up a little bit. So I'm going to put this aside for a second. And I am going to get, this is where I'm going to use my rock candy. And I am going to just basically put that on my candy canes. Where'd my thing go? Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my Mod Podge or any white glue. I wonder if I'm going to see if my art clear glue would work with that too. If it'll dry too quick. If it dries too quick, it won't work. So I'm going to try it with art glitter glue because I want it to dry quickly. Because we're limited in time. Do that. All right, let's try that. Oh, it's got too much glue right there. I can tell you that right now. Dip it in. Oh, it works pretty good. Oh, I like that. Okay. Well, it is meant, art glitter glue is meant for glitter, so like, okay. So I won't use my Mod Podge because it takes longer to dry. This worked good. Art glitter glue working for glitter. Is that crazy or what? Right? You could probably kind of dip it or something, but I don't think it needs a second dose. It looks pretty good. All right, I'm just trying to get it everywhere and not too clumpy. Hold it with my tweezers, that would work better. Alrighty. Alright, so it will dry very quickly. I need to get some on top here. I missed a spot, or I probably got my fingers on it, likely. Alright, okay. So now, a bit right there. I'm sure this one's dry. Okay, cool. Who'd have thought to use art glitter glue on your glitter? It worked really well. Okay, now I'm going to just go ahead and take these two. Where'd my cover go? And I'm going to position everything and start gluing. I think I'm going to put these on first. I am just, oh, I better cut that in the back. It's got a long wire. Let me use my wire cutters for that. Just because I don't want to ruin my scissors. That wire's kind of, you know, you really don't want to cut wire with your scissors. It'll mess them up. My glue gun. I'm using my glue gun for this because I like how it holds stuff down better. Oh, why are you acting weird? That was weird. Hope I didn't just break my glue gun. I do have a few, so I'll be all right, but still. I really want one with the, you know, the fine tip nozzle. I don't have one of those, and I really would like to get one because I think, oh, that has a big thing too. I didn't notice that. There we go. And I'm not putting too much because I don't like all that glue everywhere when I do, you know. Putting it overhanging a little bit on Santa and a little bit on there. I overhung it on there a little bit, and that's, you know. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put these on. Let's get a little chunky glue on there. I'm going to use my tweezers because that one's going to go there. And I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue. I don't want to put too much. And this one's going to go there. You would normally wait for this stuff to be completely dry, but you know, that's going to go right there. Yay! And then this one is going to go right here. So I got to put some glue on that. All right, the only other thing that we have to do on this is if we want to put a tie on it, we haven't put anything on the back, okay? And that's where I would take whatever ribbon I want to use, and I want to use this. I'm going to probably do it, I always, again, do it too long, so I can always cut it off later. And I'm going to cut a piece to go around it and make sure that's long enough, actually. That's perfect, probably. I'm going to find the middle here. I want this to go across the back. So I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. It doesn't matter if it matches or whatever because I'm going to cover this. And I'm going to get this. Okay. And I'm going to figure out where the middle is, basically. I'm going to put that down here. And you can either hot glue it or you can use your... Now I am going to put this a little bit not in the middle because I don't want this to go across Santa Claus's face. So I'm going to put it about right here. If I put it right smack in the middle, it will cover his face, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm gluing the ribbon down right there. Okay. I've got a little extra glue, but that's okay. And then I'm taking this scrap piece of paper that's bigger. It doesn't have to be a set dimension, but I think that's probably about 1 inch. And then I'm going to take, this is my 3-in-1 glue I'm using. Put some glue all over it, and I'm going to put that down over it, okay? And that structurally is going to help keep it in there. And then on top of that, I'm going to have, if I can find it, a piece that goes here. I don't think any of these are going to do that. I have to find a piece that will fit. Like maybe this piece could fit, okay? So we could put that there. And then that would go on the back. On top of that, all right, so that is going to go right there. Again, you don't want to cover your thing. I'm going to erase those, don't worry. But then what happens is you structurally have a nice tie, and see, because I did it a little bit lower than right in the middle, because the middle would have been right in the middle of his face. Yeah, I guess that's too big, but we'll cut some off. And I did it crooked, so let's just see here. We'll figure it out. Let's go right here. And I'm going fast on everything, guys, because I'm trying to get this all in one video, but go like this. And you have a cute, cute, cute journal for, I mean, honestly, guys, did that take long? No. I'm doing it in real time. All right. And explaining. So you could just assembly line these little suckers and have a whole bunch of them. a whole bunch of them, okay? And, you know, that to me is a super cute journal. You wouldn't even have to do anything else to it. All right, so that's how you get your tie and your bow on there, okay? Then the last thing I did is I took some grit paste. This is the opaque, this is the white, and the reason I did that is I wanted white underneath here. I wanted to make some snow. Use the same brush, and I just took kind of a little stiffy brush and I put a little bit of snow up here, just a little bit, all across here. My brush is really messed up. I don't know if it's going to work for me. It's got a bunch of junk on there. There we go, that's better. And I just kind of just put it in different spots across the top, just to make it look like it was snowing. A little bit on top of Santa's hat. You can put it anywhere you want. I mean, I didn't want it there, but I put some on top of this sign. Just to kind of artsy it up a little bit. Definitely don't have to do any of this. But I wanted to play with my stuff. I bought all this stuff. I want to play with it. What's the point in having it if it just sits in a jar, right? So I did that kind of all wherever I wanted snow, basically. So I didn't do it much. I didn't do a ton of it because I already had other stuff. But I just wanted it to look like there was snow in a couple places, you know. I put a little bit on the holly, like it had fallen on the holly. And over here. And that's pretty much it. And then what I did is on top of that, after I let that dry, but we're not going to have time to do that. On top of that, I put, where is it? Snowfall. That's what I was telling you before. Snowfall is a translucent, glistening type stuff, and it's really cool. You're probably thinking, well, why did you do that? Because it gives it a really sparkling, glistening, snowy look. And you can put it on there while it's wet. It's okay. It'll be this stuff. That grit paste dries really fast. Well, this other stuff does too. And what will happen is it'll give your snow a very glistening look instead of just the opaque look of the grit paste. Now, if you use the translucent grit paste, what it does is you'll see the color underneath it. So you really want to use the opaque if you want that white. And if you just use Snowfall, again, Snowfall's translucent, so you'll see underneath it. So that's why I put the grit paste down first. And I just put this in little places here and there. Let that dry wherever I put the snow, pretty much. And what'll happen is it's going to dry all glistening and pretty and whatever. And so that's it, guys. That is how everything I did. I'm going to show you my other journal that I pretty much finished. I haven't really decorated it. I've just done some things to it. But see, look what that does. You've got that cute little bow there where Santa is, and you've got this really adorable journal. And, you know, and I don't know if you can tell all the stuff that's on there. But let me show you the other one, and then you can kind of see. But all that just gives it a very artsy look, and you didn't have to do all that much to it. Okay, here's the one I did, and on this, basically everything I did was pretty much the same. And I'm just going to show you a few extra things that I did, so that you can get ideas. Okay, I used all the extra pieces and I made tags so that you could put them in there. I took all the cut aparts apart and I made pockets. I made little tuck spots, and I mean, come on, how hard is that, right? I added little pieces of ribbon. You know, I just stapled it in places. You've got that there. On the cards that I put on the inside, I just put little pieces of ribbon so that when you have this open, you have all this ribbon on the sides. If you don't like that, you can put tabs or whatever. So here, and I just used the cut aparts and I made pockets here. Put the bags in, okay? So it's just a cute little journal that you can, you know, take all the pieces, and it's not decorated yet, but I think this would be a great gift to give somebody as is, and then maybe you give them some stickers and all that kind of stuff that you could put in there. Just, there's so many things to me that when you have a already matching kind of set, you can do. And of course I made that spot over here. I didn't put anything there, but and you have all these little pieces sticking out. You've got your little tags. This one I made more pages. This one I made 6 pages. So that would be, oh gosh, let's see, 6. I mean, not 6 pages, 6 bags. So that's 6, 12. That's 24 sides. So that's a lot. The reason I did that is to make it as a December daily. So that would work that way. And the back, I put this on, and I put some pom-pom trim on that. I think I'm going to do that on here too. I'll put some white on here too. I think the pom-pom trim on the back like that looks really cool, because you've got the white and then this other one there. I mean, to me, the more the merrier. Anyway, my inspiration for doing this was from a lady that I met at a craft fair that I went to, and I want to show you hers that she did. And she does not have a YouTube channel, but she has a Instagram, and it's Yahoo and Yippee, and her Instagram is at Yahoo and Yippee. So that is where they are, and this is hers, and she did it this is all decorated up. I bought this journal. I thought it was really cute, very vintagey. Did a lot of fun stuff to it. I'm going to flip through it really quick because we don't have a lot of time, but you can tell it looks like it's a paper pad, a lot of it, with a lot of matching parts. Of course, there's other things in there too that she put on. Just go through your stash and put things in there. And if you're giving it as a gift, I would just get a whole bunch of stuff and put it in a bag and give it to them. And then that way they have all this cool stuff that they can use in there. And anyway, that is the journal that inspired me to do this. And of course, see, there's how she did hers. So anyway, guys, that is it. And I think it is really cute. And hopefully you guys will try this. Oh, the other thing that I did, I put a dot of glue on all these knots just so that they would not come undone. Just made me think of that when I was tying that one. Just kind of go like that, and that keeps them from going untied. Just your art glitter glue or whatever. It'll dry clear, and that keeps it from, you know, unraveling or something later. So anyway, guys, that is it. That's all I have for today. I don't know when I'll be able to do my next video. I'm hoping to do at least one more this week. So we'll see you again soon. Take care.